Hello, my name is Dmitry and I'm a certification department specialist from WWBridge company. And today we're going to check out what it takes to carry out the necessary certification procedures for vehicles and the car parts. First of all, it's worth mentioning that both car parts and the vehicles are subject to certification. It might look challenging, but it's not as hard as it seems. And the vehicle market of Russia and the EU is quite broad, and many different manufacturers are interested in importing their car parts and vehicles here. Okay, let's take a look at the external part of the cars first. Here we have the trunk, the exhaust stack over there, the wheels and the tires, the doors, the hood and the lights. But there are many more parts of the car. Almost all of these parts are subject to TRCU 18. This is the regulation that controls the wheeled vehicles, but slightly differently. In fact, there are two general ways of issuing the certificate for this regulation, either via testing the samples in the accredited laboratory or with a little help from type approval certificates, hereinafter TACs, issued based on the Geneva Agreement dated 1958 for wheeled vehicles. Of the external parts of the car that we can see here, there are several of them that need TAC, and here they are: lights, turn signals, the tires, but not the wheels, the rear view mirrors, and so on. The procedure here is the following. The manufacturer has to provide the laboratory with the TACs that are to be translated into Russian and some samples, but not for testing, but for identification, to make sure that these samples are exactly the same that mentioned in the TAC. So once the type approval certificates checking is complete, as well as identification, the certificate might be issued. The rest of the external parts of the car requires tests to get an ESC approval here. And the procedure here is quite straightforward. The manufacturer has to provide the laboratory with the samples for testing. And once all the tests are complete, the certificate might be released. And here is one more detail. Not all car parts are subject to TRCU 18 certification. For those unlucky ones, the exemption letter is an option. This is the official reply by the certification body that says that a certain car part is not subject to any technical regulation. Here you can see the engine of the vehicle. But it's not just the engine that's hidden under the hood. The car can be considered as a complicated mechanism with so many parts serving for it. For instance, steering and suspension parts, brakes, pumps, and many other different items. The whole list is enormous, and counting all these parts could take plenty of time. As I said before, all you have to do is to let the laboratory test the samples and give you the certificate. Having a TAC here is not an option. Alright, let's take a look at the interior of the car. There are so many different parts in here, like the steering wheel, seats, seat belts, clusters, and just many other different things. They all can be divided into the ones that need TAC and the one that needs necessary testing. For example, the seat belts require TAC, while seats and the steering wheel that you can see over here have to be tested. Not all the car parts are subject to TRCU 18. It turns out that there is a couple of parts that all of a sudden are subject to TRCU 20 instead. This regulation controls electromagnetic compatibility. Brilliant example of it is the infotainment system installed right here. And this regulation allows to issue not only the certificates, but the declarations as well. And the good news is the declaration may be issued based on the test report of the manufacturer, which means no additional tests in the laboratory. As to the vehicle itself, it has to undergo tests as well, but it has to be the whole assembled unit to complete the tests. And when the whole assembled unit gets the test reports, the certificate can be obtained as well. And when the manufacturer gets the certificate for the vehicle, it can import it into the Russian Federation and the countries of the Eurasian Economic Union. In conclusion, WWBridge is always here for our clients. You can ask for our help regarding certification of car parts and vehicles, and you can always count on us and our assistance.